Thank you for having me here. This is Prashanto Kochavara. I'm the Director of Product at Trilio, and today I'm going to be talking about ransomware protection and recoverability for cloud-native applications. And Ron, you were absolutely right when you spoke about when you were aligning what Eric was talking about in his talk with what I'm going to be talking about. I think there's a lot of synergy, and there are a lot of different capabilities that Trilio is going to be providing you to protect, detect, and recover from ransomware attacks. So before we dive into the meat of the product and how we are solving this problem, let's talk a bit about Trilio quickly. So we were founded in 2013. We've been doing data protection for about 8 years now. Entire product is patented, proprietary solution. We have our workforce spread globally, and we have customers in all leading verticals today. Decent amount of funding. We are growing as a company, very rapidly. Our partner ecosystem is pretty broad, and then as a product, we are certified by Red Hat, SUSE, VMware, and IBM. Now, who is Trilio, or what is it that we do? We are a data protection and a data management solution. What you see in front of you right now is our multi-cloud or multi-cluster management console, which is fully compatible or fully supports any CNCF distribution. So as long as you're a Kubernetes distribution, we will support you within our multi-cloud or multi-cluster distro. We are completely agnostic to the storage that is being used by your applications because we leverage CSI. And via CSI, we communicate with your application storage to capture everything as a point in time capture. Then we are completely cloud agnostic as well. Wherever you're running your Kubernetes clusters, whether it's a managed service or it's a self-hosted Kubernetes cluster, you can leverage Trilio to provide your data management and data protection needs. And then finally, the way we do all of this is, we allow customers to capture entire namespaces, capture applications by labels or by their tools that they are used to. For example, your Helm charts or your operator-based applications, you can natively back that up with Trilio, which is the only vendor in the market that provides it today. Now let's get into the meat of the subject around ransomware, right? When we look at the definition of ransomware, basically they're a type of attack, a cyber attack, where these malicious users or actors get entry into an organization via some software, and then they access your data, they encrypt it, and then they hold it ransom. They want you to pay some money before you can get your data back. And as Eric had pointed out, there is no guarantee that you're even going to get your data back, even if you pay that money. Okay. Now, just looking at the stats, 300 million cases of ransomware attacks each year. I think the first one ever recorded was in 1989. Obviously, the attack then was very basic compared to the kind of attacks that are happening today. Where they're using machine learning. They get access into your system. They patiently wait there, understand how you're using the system, understand all your credentials, where your backup systems are kept, and then going in, encrypting and attacking everything. As we mentioned, there is no guarantee that you are going to get your data back. So once you are facing a ransomware attack, you are at their mercy. Average cost is about 300K based on the recent barrage of attacks that we've seen. Whether it's gas pipelines, whether it's meat industries or anywhere. These attacks have been happening very, very heavily, and the cost has been significantly going up as well. With the pandemic, we have had a burst in digitalization, work from home, remote work. There are a lot more devices now connecting over the internet, so the attack surface has definitely increased. And as a result of that, 72% increase in attacks, and the vulnerabilities also have gone up by 50%. So it is a problem that we are facing, and we are going to continue to face as digitalization keeps growing. technology is going to continue to solve a lot of problems in human life, and the push to run digital workspaces and have digitally connected environments everywhere is going to keep increasing. So the ransomware attacks are not going to stop anytime soon. And what this means is we have to develop hygiene and best practices on protecting ourselves, and obviously using solutions like Trilio, which can help you and assist you in the journey as well. So what we know is that when we deal with a ransomware attack, there are two entry points of attack, and obviously because Trilio is a data protection solution, we are going to look at everything from the backup media's perspective, right? From a backup vendor or a backup solution perspective. So what we know is that these attackers are definitely going to go after your primary storage, but along with that, they're going to try and attack your backup system as well, because they know once you have backups, that's your bread and butter, or the primary way you're going to restore your business operations. So they are definitely going to go after that. And the two ways they're going to go after that is by directly from the backup console, which could be within the Kubernetes system itself, or by directly attacking the storage media, where these backups are kept. This is irrespective of, the backup vendor itself. If someone gets access to the storage and they try to nuke the storage at that level, then you lose your data. So there are these two levels that someone's going to try and ensure that your backups cannot be used to recover from a ransomware attack. Okay, and this is what Trilio is solving today. Now, what we understand is that ransomware is not just a single feature. Ransomware protection is not just a single feature that we provide. It's a comprehensive approach to providing the capabilities to protect your assets, detect an attack, and recover from it at the same time. So what we've done is we have leveraged and we have aligned ourselves to the NIST and the NCCOE best practices for cybersecurity. Right. NIST is the National Institute of Standards and Technology, and NCCOE is the National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence. These are the groups or the organizations that provide the template and the framework for warding off any cybersecurity issues, or how do you approach these in general. And these organizations are built or comprised of thought leaders in the space who have been in the security space for a long time, and someone or something that we can definitely trust and agree upon, that they are talking the sensible things that a organization needs to do to protect itself. So now the main components of the cybersecurity framework are identification and protection. What this means is you need to first safeguard, from talking about it from a backup perspective, identify and protect, backup all your different assets, whether it is applications, whether it's namespaces, clusters, environments, whatever it may be. You need to back that up, and you need to be able to quickly do that and understand if you are protecting them efficiently or not. The next one is to detect and mitigate, right? Let's say you see a ransomware attack happening, or something something funky is going on within your environments. Now, you do not want to just wait there and let that attack take over and start encrypting a lot of data for you. You want to mitigate that. You want to isolate that. You want to maybe cut off some privileges so that the attack does not proliferate through the rest of your environment. And that is what is covered in the detect and mitigate aspect of the security framework. And then finally, you have the recoverability aspect. This is where you can ensure, one, that your backups are immutable. You have deep logging to get to that clean backup where you can recover. You can perform isolation testing to ensure that the backup is clean again to recover. And then finally, having disaster recovery workflows so that you can get all your applications running up and running quickly as part of a single workflow or a single plan. So that is how Trilio is basically approaching this problem, and this is how we have been developing our features to combat ransomware. Now let's talk about what Trilio is building, and I would say most of these features are already available or will be available in the next 8 to 12 weeks. So from the protection, starting off from the left, from the protection angle, what we provide today is application discovery. Right, right off the bat, we discover all your different assets, whether your applications, namespaces, clusters. We discover it for you automatically within a Kubernetes system, and show you if it's protected or not. And if it's not protected, we flag that for you as well. So right off the bat, your inventory, and where your where potential issues could arise in case you get attacked. Secondly, security validations. Trilio as a product itself has been validated, as we mentioned, by IBM, Red Hat, multiple different partners, industry standards, to ensure that the product itself has been built in a concise, and by leveraging all the best practices for security out there. Backup immutability, making sure that once your backup has been written, it does not change, whether you get access from the management console itself or whether you get access from the storage media itself. That immutability aspect is something that we will be providing pretty soon as well. RBAC encryption, two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication. RBAC is already something that we support. Encryption is going to be supported in about another 6 weeks, and these are additional features that we are all building to ensure that your data is secure. Again, encryption by itself does not really protect you from ransomware, because you have the problem of double encryption. Your encrypted data could also get encrypted. But it definitely does help you from that angle, where the malicious user wants to expose your data on, whether it's the dark web or the normal web. Encryption will help you over there. Detection and mitigation. What we are providing is looking at the trail of backups. Using some machine learning to identify a chain of backups, and suddenly we see an anomaly. We see one backup size is significantly higher than what we've seen on the previous backups. Then we automatically understand, hey, something could be going wrong over there, and we can flag the users. So understanding, detecting these abnormal events is something that we are providing. Containment of the attack. Let's say we understand someone has started encrypting data, cutting off the service account privileges so that your backup system does not get further compromised, is also something that we are providing. Another interesting and a very good piece of the Trilio technology is that we store our backups in an open QQ2 format. It's not a proprietary format that we use for storing our captures. So as a result, we can enable a lot of malware and ransomware scanning on top of the backups itself. So think about your scheduled backups happening, daily, hourly, however it is, and another process coming and scanning them regularly to ensure that there is no piece of malware or kind of ransomware, WannaCry kind of things sitting within the captures itself, because that could again trigger you and let you know that, hey, there's something wrong within the backup or something wrong happening within your environment, and you can start mitigating those attacks. And then obviously, once you have detected something, you want to be notified and alert. So notification into popular tools like Slack, Microsoft Teams, wherever you need these alerts and notifications, we are plugging that for you as well. And now finally, the main piece, something that folks are much more privy to understanding, is around the recoverability aspect. What we're doing is we're providing deeper logging capabilities to understand, if a backup was altered by some malicious user, and capabilities and basically syntax alerts and things like that to easily get to the capture that you want to restore. Your RTO, recovery time objective, is also very important. So the deeper logging will enable you to do that. Trilio can capture your entire application, your entire workload mappings, and take that, and you can test that in any environment. So even before you bring it into production back again, you can do isolation testing. You can ensure that it's clean. so that you are not still paying that malicious user. As Eric mentioned, they could be changing your data back as well, or doing something funky on those lines. So making sure that your backups are clean before you restore it is also a big part of recoverability. Trilio already provides a disaster recovery workflow, uh, which allows users to save their minimum viable business that they want to restore in case of a disaster. Now, the disaster can be, a security disaster like ransomware, or could be an outage as well. But this workflow allows you to restore everything in one shot, back up again. And then finally, multiple targets. Target is something that we refer to as a backup repository. And what Trilio allows is we support S3 as a backup target and NFS as a backup target. So, and we have no restriction on the number of these targets that you can have within your system. So users can create multiple S3 repositories or multiple NFS repositories and store their backups in them, so that even if you do get compromised on one of the backup repositories, your other repositories are available clean and fresh to recover from. So the idea here is, on one side we want to minimize the attack surface, but on the other side we want to increase the recoverability surface as well. So with that, I conclude the presentation.
Excellent.
We also have a deeper solution brief available on our website, which talks much more into how these features function and work. So I would welcome everyone to come and take a look at that as well, going into our website. That's www.trilio.io.